There are 7 distinct types of brown eyes, and what makes them truly fascinating is that they aren't just differently beautiful. Each comes with its own set of hidden biological perks and evolutionary trade-offs, proving that in nature, every gift has its price. Before we dive into the specifics, there is a compelling psychological reality to consider. If you possess brown eyes, you were born with an instinctive trust card. Research suggests that the human brain naturally perceives brown-eyed individuals as more trustworthy than those with light eyes, granting you a silent but powerful advantage in social communication from day one. Our journey begins with the amber eye, frequently referred to as wolf eyes. However, this label is often tossed around too loosely. True amber is exceptionally rare in humans, even though it serves as the standard uniform for the animal kingdom's top predators, from wolves and eagles to owls. A common mistake is to confuse amber with hazel, but the distinction is unmistakable. While hazel is a complex palette of blended colors, true amber is a solid, unbroken, yellowish copper pigment. This unique hue is forged by the dominance of pheomelanin, a red-yellow pigment, paired with a near-total absence of eumelanin. In humans, this is considered a genetic anomaly where the iris stroma essentially lacks the dark pigments that usually cloud the eye's clarity. Geneticists believe these rare shades are remnants of ancient variants surviving in isolated European populations. If you possess solid golden eyes without a trace of green, you are statistically among the rarest individuals on the planet. Evolutionarily, while humans lack the actual night vision of a wolf, this rare pigmentation makes you distinct and easily recognizable. However, this rarity carries a social double-edged sword, because it feels wild, and primal studies show that amber eyes are often perceived as more intense, mysterious, or even intimidating compared to the soft, welcoming warmth of an espresso shade. Following this is ash brown, a shade defined by the Tyndall effect. This serves as a subtle reminder that not all brown is warm. Ash or slate brown looks as though a classic brown eye is being viewed through a cool gray filter. Lacking the heat of cognac or honey tones, it often projects a look that is perceived as unusual or even somewhat cold. This icy aesthetic isn't about personality, it's pure physics. The Tyndall effect occurs deep within the iris when melanin is buried further back in the stroma, while the outer layer is packed with light-obstructing collagen. Light entering the eye must fight through this cloudy medium before reflecting back, which filters out warm wavelengths and cools down the red and yellow tones. The result is a neutral steel-like brown for the observer. The hidden advantage here is a mastery of camouflage. Because it is so neutral, this eye color never clashes with skin tones or hair colors, creating a balanced and harmonious facial appearance. Often found in populations with highly mixed ancestry such as Eastern Europe, the Middle East, or Central Asia, it stands as a genetic record of light and dark genes blending perfectly. The only drawback is that ash brown eyes can appear flat or dull in photographs, since they don't reflect the warm spectrum of light. It is a subtle, sophisticated beauty that truly requires a close encounter to be fully appreciated. Thirdly, we encounter the cognac shade, a type of brown that hides a smoldering crimson soul. This is where genetics take a truly spicy turn. Have you ever noticed someone's eyes under the sun suddenly flashing with bronze or copper glints, like a glass of fine cognac shimmering in the light? That isn't an optical illusion. It's a distinct pigment formula making itself heard. This phenomenon marks the arrival of pheomelanin, the red-yellow pigment. While eumelanin provides the base, brown pheomelanin acts as the seasoning, adding warmth and fire to the gaze. Scientifically, this is often linked to the MC1R gene, the same genetic family responsible for red hair and freckles. You don't need to be a redhead to possess cognac eyes. You only need one vibrant branch in your family tree for this trait to surface. From an evolutionary perspective, this grants a secret advantage: superior vitamin D synthesis. The genetic pathway creating these red tones is often linked to skin types that produce vitamin D more efficiently in low-light environments, a vital survival trait for ancestors who migrated far from the equator. However, the trade-off is that because you have slightly less eumelanin than the darker obsidian types, you lack heavy-duty internal sunglasses. You are more sensitive to UV radiation, meaning your eyes require extra diligence and protection. To make that liquid ember truly pop, a navy or plum eyeliner creates an explosive and sophisticated contrast. Fourthly, we have the russet and gold eyes, where the story shifts from biology to pure physics. When you dilute the ink of melanin, the iris stops being just about color and starts behaving like a prism. Remember why the sky is blue? It's due to Rayleigh scattering, and that exact mechanism is happening inside your eyes right now. When the stroma contains less melanin, it becomes translucent, allowing light to get lost along its path. As light enters and hits the collagen fibers, it scatters in multiple directions. In honey or golden brown eyes, you possess a premium blend, a light layer of yellowish-brown melanin mixed with the blue light scattering from the collagen. When yellow meets blue light, the eyes ignite into a brilliant metallic gold, a perfect handshake between the physics of light and human biology. This grants you a built-in chameleon effect. Your eyes act like a natural dimmer switch, appearing deeper brown in low light, but hitting the gas and glowing like liquid honey under direct sunlight. The downside to this radiance is increased sensitivity. You fall into a moderate risk zone for photophobia. Light sensitivity, meaning that on bright, overcast days where the sky is a glaring white, you'll find yourself squinting while your espresso-eyed friends feel perfectly comfortable. To celebrate this metallic, luster-warm earth tones are your ultimate makeup companions. Fifth on our list is Obsidian, the ancient shield, that is frequently misidentified as black. While it sounds incredibly sleek, physics dictates a stark reality. True black eyes do not exist in humans. Unless you lack an iris structure entirely, a medical condition known as aniridia, what you are seeing is actually obsidian brown, the heavy artillery of the brown-eyed family. In these eyes, eumelanin is so densely packed that it absorbs nearly 99% of incoming light. With the stroma completely saturated, almost no light scatters back, resulting in a deep, bottomless velvet darkness. This shade is an ancient biological blueprint, evolved at sun-drenched latitudes to serve as a high-performance biological sunshield. The perk of having obsidian eyes is exceptional visual efficiency in high-glare environments. You likely handle extreme brightness far better than your light-eyed peers. Furthermore, an intriguing worthy hypothesis suggests a correlation between dark pigmentation and faster reactive motor skills like those needed in boxing, potentially due to quicker neural transmission linked to melanin production. The catch: you might feel things more intensely. Preliminary studies suggest a link between dark eye genes and a lower physical pain tolerance compared to those with light eyes. In other words, you might react faster, but that hit might hurt just a little bit more. Coming in sixth is Espresso. If Obsidian is the full option armor, Espresso is the version dialed back just one notch, still deep and dark but starting to reveal its texture. As the most common variant of brown eyes, people often dismiss it as unremarkable, but it hides a secret right on its surface. Because the melanin is not as tightly compressed as in Obsidian, light has a chance to peek through, revealing the topography of the iris. Those tiny pits and grooves aren't flaws, they are crypts, windows, into the iris's complex 3D architecture. A surprising perk documented by a Georgia State University study is a statistical sensitivity to alcohol. Espresso-eyed individuals tend to feel the effects of alcohol faster than those with blue eyes. This acts as a natural stop signal for the body, making this group less likely to develop alcohol dependence. The downside is purely aesthetic. Espresso eyes need direct sunlight to show off their intricate detail. Indoors, they can appear flat, concealing the sophisticated 3D beauty that makes them unique. Finally, we have the Starburst, the graphic designer version of brown eyes. It is important to clarify that Starburst isn't just a color, it's a masterpiece of a pattern. Up close, you'll see a dark chocolate ring hugging the pupil that explodes outward into rays of gold, green, or hazel, looking like a logo drawn by genetics. Biologically, this is often a form of central heterochromia. This occurs early in the womb. The melanocytes are highly productive at the center, but as the iris expands the pigment, supply slows down much like a construction crew running out of materials. This leaves the outer ring lighter, creating a high-contrast bullseye effect. The perk is the undeniable ability to capture attention. Human brains are hardwired for contrast, so when someone looks at you, their gaze is pulled directly into your pupils, making your eye contact feel significantly more magnetic and intense by design. The only drawback is perpetual confusion. You'll spend a lifetime hearing people debate whether your eyes are brown, green, or hazel. You might spend your whole life arguing about your eye color, and the frustrating part is that everyone is right. You aren't a single color. You are the result of a genetic lottery that reveals a new face under every different light. The main culprit sits on a small patch of chromosome 15, a gene called HERC2. Think of HERC2 as the volume knob of the eye. Crank it up and you enter the Obsidian or Espresso zone, deep, dark, and light-absorbing. Turn it down and you slide toward honey or hazel, brighter and more reactive to the environment. Because everyone has a different volume setting, every pair of brown eyes carries a different melanin decibel. If you have brown eyes, you don't just have a color. You have an atmosphere. You have a shield that allowed your ancestors to survive equatorial radiation, and you possess grooves and patterns that are mathematically unique in the history of the universe. So do one thing for me. Look in the mirror, use a flashlight carefully, and see which of these 7 shades is looking back at you. Are you Team Starburst or Team Espresso? I read every comment, so if you decoded your face today, hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video.